Today we're going completely under the hood to see how factories solve this industrial Tower of Babel problem.
All right, let's dive right in. Here's our roadmap. First, we'll look at the need for determinism. Then we'll break down Modbus, the reliable grandfather. After that, PROFINET and its high-speed precision, followed by Ethernet IP, our flexible highway. Then we'll do a head-to-head protocol comparison and wrap up with your final selection blueprint. Because hey, avoiding a multi-million-dollar robot crash makes choosing the right protocol absolutely essential. So, Section 1, the need for determinism. To start, we really need to separate standard IT office environments from operational technology on the floor. You might actually be wondering, why can't factories just run on standard office networks? Well, think about your typical workday. If a standard network delays an email by, say, 200 milliseconds, literally nobody notices. Your web browser spins for a fraction of a second and you just go on with your day. But an industrial network? That is a completely different beast.
On a high-speed industrial press or a multi-axis servo line, data delayed by just 5 milliseconds isn't an inconvenience. It's absolutely catastrophic. I mean, that tiny 5-millisecond delay on a motion command can literally cause a multi-million-dollar machine collision. The physical world of heavy automation simply cannot tolerate the relaxed, whenever you get to it, traffic rules of a standard office network.
And that brings us to the most important word in industrial automation: determinism. Put simply, this is the absolute guarantee that a message arrives at the exact millisecond it is expected. No exceptions. This is the critical foundation that these three industrial protocols were heavily engineered to achieve.
Moving on to Section 2, Modbus, the reliable grandfather. Developed by Modicon way back in 1979, Modbus RTU was built on a strict master-slave architecture over RS-485 serial wiring. The master initiates every single query, polling devices one by one. The slaves are kind of like polite Victorian children, completely silent and only speaking when spoken to. Then, 20 years later in 1999, Modbus TCP brought this into the Ethernet age. It essentially just wrapped its traditional 16-bit register frames right inside standard TCP IP packets. And today, Modbus remains open, completely free of licensing, and is supported by almost every instrument on Earth.
The really beautiful simplicity of Modbus is how it organizes data into just 4 basic tables. You've got your single-bit flags for simple stuff like digital sensors and relay outputs, alongside 16-bit registers for your analog data. Think motor temperatures or a variable frequency drive speed reference. It is just incredibly straightforward.
But of course, that simplicity does come at a cost. Because a Modbus master must pull every single device sequentially, network updates are comparatively slow, typically taking somewhere between 50 and 100 milliseconds. Now, that's perfect for energy metering, HVAC systems, and simple process instruments for sure, but it's way too slow for high-speed robotics.
Which brings us to Section 3, PROFINET, high-speed precision.
To really understand PROFINET, notice how it intentionally bypasses standard software bottlenecks to get its incredible speed. Standard Ethernet goes through these heavy TCP/IP transport layers, taking over 100 milliseconds. But PROFINET Real-Time, or RT, drops that cyclic I/O data directly into the Ethernet Layer 2 frame. That pushes update times down to 10 milliseconds or even less. And this is wild, there's PROFINET IRT, or isochronous real-time, which is custom hardware ASICs to drop update times to sub-millisecond levels. So how does it do it? PROFINET IRT achieves this hard real-time precision by physically splitting a 1 millisecond time slot into synchronized bandwidth windows. It reserves red time, strictly for synchronized motion control frames, and leaves green time for your standard background traffic. This allows up to 64 axes of high-precision motion to synchronize with absolutely zero jitter. And for engineers, integrating this hardware is super simple using standardized drag-and-drop GSTML files. Let's look at Section 4, Ethernet/IP, the flexible highway. Now, unlike PROFINET, Ethernet IP doesn't modify standard Ethernet hardware at all. Instead, it implements CIP, the Common Industrial Protocol, directly on top of commercial, off-the-shelf TCP/IP and UDP/IP stacks. It uses an object-oriented structure with 2 modes. Explicit messaging uses standard TCP for low-priority request and response data, like changing a configuration parameter. But for critical sensor data, it uses implicit messaging, broadcasting high-speed UDP packets to stream fast cyclic I/O continuously. It completely eliminates the need to wait around for acknowledgement handshakes. The real magic of Ethernet IP is moving away from that old sequential master-slave architecture. Instead, it uses a producer-consumer model. A sensor simply produces data at a specific requested interval, and multiple consumers, like a controller and a drive, can read that exact same packet simultaneously.
When you combine this with standard managed Ethernet switches using quality of service, you get incredibly fast deterministic behavior using standard commercial hardware.
All right, Section 5, head-to-head protocol comparison. Looking at the operational trade-offs side by side really puts it all into perspective. Modbus TCP is exceptionally easy with zero licensing costs, perfectly built for simple energy metering. PROFINET IRT, on the other hand, gives you absolute maximum real-time performance using custom hardware. It's the undisputed champion for complex servo motion. And Ethernet IP, it strikes a highly flexible balance using commercial hardware, making it dominant for plant-wide I/O integration. But out on the factory floor, physical things break. Cables get severed all the time. Thankfully, both of our high-speed contenders support fault-tolerant ring topologies to keep factories running. PROFINET utilizes the Media Redundancy Protocol, or MRP, to recover from a broken cable in under 20 milliseconds. Ethernet IP, amazingly, uses device-level ring, or DLR, to heal network faults in under 3 milliseconds. Talk about blinking and you miss it.
And finally, Section 6, your final selection blueprint.
Let's see how all this builds into your facility's overall strategy with a simple 3-step blueprint. Step 1, just connecting basic field sensors or legacy systems? Go with Modbus for universal, inexpensive support. Step 2, building high-speed robotic cells requiring hard real-time synchronization? Choose PROFINET IRT. And Step 3, integrating complex plant-wide automation and want to leverage standard IT networks? Choose Ethernet TP for that flexible IT compatibility.
And that leaves us with this final thought. We've seen exactly how standard office Ethernet fails in the factory, and how Modbus, PROFINET, and Ethernet IP each solve the problem of determinism in their own brilliantly unique ways. But as operational technology and standard IT networks continue to furiously converge into single unified smart systems, which of these deterministic protocols will adapt fast enough to rule the automated factory of the future? Well, that's the million-dollar question keeping automation engineers awake at night.